The next session is on Introduction to Welding, Automation and Robotic Welding Process by Dr. N. Murugan, Professor, Department of Robotics and Automation Engineering, and also the coordinator of this FTP. Professor N. Murugan has obtained his PhD in Mechanical Engineering from IIT Delhi. He obtained Master's degree in Production Engineering in PSG College of Technology and Bachelor's in Mechanical Engineering from Government College of Engineering, Salem. He also served for Coimbatore Institute of Technology, Coimbatore, for 34 years at different levels. He also served as visiting distinguished professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Texas Tech University, Lubbock, USA, during 2010 to 2011. He also served as expert member to prepare outcome-based accreditation manuals for engineering, MCA, pharmacy, and hotel management for National Board of Accreditation, New Delhi. Professor N. Murugan has 37 years of experience of teaching and research, which also included consultancy and administrative experience at different levels in CIT. His areas of interest are welding, modeling welding, and surfacing process using regression and FEM, fabrication and friction stir welding of AMMCs, mechanical, metallurgical, wear and corrosion characterization of weldments, claddings, and hard-faced components, robotic welding, and wire arc additive manufacturing of inconel alloys. Working as an academician, Professor N. Murugan has contributed vividly both to industry and academia. His contribution includes 166 publications in international journals, 26 publications in national journals, and 188 conference publications. He also guided 38 PhD scholars and providing individual guidance to 8 PhD research scholars. He has chaired, organized, and conducted numerous workshops, seminars, and conferences. His developmental work includes obtaining grants from funding bodies like AICTE, UGC, NRB, DST, and DRDO for research projects and develop new laboratories in different disciplines at CIT. He is currently Professor of Robotics and Automation Engineering as well as the consultant to Center of Excellence in Welding, PSG College of Technology. Sir, please take over the session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Parvati Priya. I really, once again, on behalf of Department of Robotics and Engineering, Automation and Engineering, and Center of Excellence in Welding Engineering Technology, I welcome you all and really I appreciate you have joined this course. It's very useful. I hope you will be really realizing that at the end of the course, right? So, first session, really, you have understood about the robotics, especially the basics, industrial robotics, different types, okay, the history, everything. So, because the title is robotic welding, so initially you should have something about what is a robot, what are the different types of robot, that is essential. Then the second part, the application of robot. So it can be used for various things that as you have seen, painting, okay, assembly, welding. So mainly here welding. So a lot huge scope is there for welding, and lot of developments have taken place in welding, robotic welding. So this will be very useful. So before going to the actual session, so it is a part of Center of Excellence and in Welding Engineering and Technology is a part of our Robotics and Automation Engineering Department. So I'd like to just give you 2 minutes video about the center available, okay, the facilities available in the center. Then I will proceed with the welding subject, okay, right. I will just instead of giving PowerPoint, just 2 minutes only. So it will give you the complete details about the
PSG College of Technology has established an advanced center of excellence in welding engineering and technology with financial support from Department of Heavy Industry, Government of India. An articulated prototype robot has been successfully developed as a part of welding automation project. This is an 6-axis robot which has been interfaced with MIG welding system. A gantry welding system has been developed for welding of circumferential joints and longitudinal joints for applications like pump casings. Weld fabrication of wind tunnel box and carriage components are carried out using this FANUC robot welding. The center has developed mobile app-based software for controlling the universal robot welding. The center has established a pick-and-place robot for welding various applications. The center has acquired robotic welding simulation software. A prototype inverter-based welding power source is being developed for GTAW and SMAW welding applications. The center has established advanced NDT facilities like phased array ultrasonic testing unit, incorporating TOFT feature. Conventional tests like magnetic particle test and penetrant test facilities has also been established. The center has state-of-art metrography facility for microstructure analysis, stereo microscope, inverter microscope, and automated harness mapping machines are some of the systems in the metrography section. Alloy design is a powerful technique for development of new welding consumables. Thermocal software established arc welded specimens can be physically simulated using this advanced thermomechanical physical simulator called Cleaver. This machine can also be used for physical simulation for hot forming, powder metallurgy, and metal casting applications. Development of newer welding consumables has been made easier through establishment of a pilot electrode extruded plant for flux coated electrodes. Electrodes of nickel alloys and other alloys with formulations carried out in-house are currently being extruded in this plant. The center has a Hanover analyzer for checking the usability characteristic of welding consumable.
Okay. Okay. So you might have seen the various facilities available in Center of Excellence in Welding Technology. So those really want to pursue your PhD or do some trials, experiments, you can use these facilities to carry out your research in welding engineering and technology. Okay. So this my lecture. So I will be just introducing what is welding and what is welding automation and what type of welding processes used for robotic welding. Okay, you cannot use all processes for robotic welding. Okay, only processes which are suitable for robotic welding, especially which can be easily automated. Okay, that is the main idea. Which can be easily automated, that can be used for robotic welding. So I'll just before going to that, so let me explain what is welding. What do you mean by welding? What are the various processes of welding? Okay, so we generally deals with materials, especially engineering materials. Most of them are metals. Mostly we deal with that. So joining of metals, so or welding of metals. So how you maybe some of you, I would like to know your background. Some of you, many from mechatronics, many from other discipline. Very few, I think, maybe from mechanical also. Some maybe part of 50% maybe from mechanical. So you might have studied about welding, what are the welding processes. Others may not know. But anyhow, I will just give you a brief idea about what is welding and how it is carried out, what are the major processes, then what is called welding automation, because the title is welding automation, robotic welding and welding automation. So how welding automation is carried out, what are the equipments needed for welding automation, okay, all those things. Then what is robotic welding? So all this, how this welding automation is classified into different processes. Okay, manual welding, then the extreme is automated welding. Okay, so we will see how this can be classified. Before that, we should have some idea about what is welding. So welding is joining of two pieces, is a permanent joint, and coalescence is joining together. That means coalescence means joining together. Two pieces together to get a single piece. So that is called a weld met, entire component. Two pieces previously separate, now they have become joined. There is a weld is produced, Okay, so weld plus base metal, everything is called weldment. So there are a lot of technical terms you have to understand when you learn about is this welding. Okay, people in industry or generally it will be referred. These technical terms will be referred like all positional welding. What do you mean by all positional welding? So all these things. So heat affected zone, weld metal, these things you should have some idea and just touch upon those things. Okay, two metal pieces, solid pieces mostly we are joining, mostly all are solid materials. So we are used for various purposes. Welding nowadays, without welding, you cannot produce a component. Such a level welding has come. Okay, among the various manufacturing process, welding is one of the major welding joining, one of the major fabrication process or production process or manufacturing process, like metal casting, metal joining, and metal forming. And then fourth one is metal machining, that is secondary process. Once you make the shape and size, then you will be finally finishing it by machining. So here metal joining, so two pieces in the solid state, you have to join them. What are the techniques used? Commonly there are two techniques you can join them. Join these metals mostly. Okay, so metals can be joined by one technique.
Sir, Murugan sir, excuse me, sir. Murugan
Yes.
sir. Yes, sir. Please be louder, sir.
Okay, right. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
right. Thank you. So, is it visible? Slides are visible? Slides?
Yes, sir. Slide is visible, sir.
Okay.
Put in full screen mode, sir.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it is okay, sir.
Okay, right. I'm coming closer to that.
Thank you, sir.
So this welding, okay, one of the major production processes like metal casting, metal forming, and metal joining. So metal joining is very important. Okay, so here two pieces will be joined by first technique is fusion technique. The other technique is pressure technique. Fusion technique, the basic just I give the basic principle. So two metal solid pieces, when you apply heat, especially we apply locally, not at the entire thing we are heating, locally at the edges where you want to join. So edges will be heated locally and it will be raised to a melting temperature, above the melting temperature, so that the edges will melt. Before it is too solid, you cannot join. So now two edges melt and become a liquid. This liquid mix together easily if it is same material. Steel and steel you want to join. So it becomes liquid and liquid mixed together. Then after solidification, you remove the heat. After solidification, the single liquid will solidify as a single solid. So you get the joint. This is called fusion welding because we raise the temperature above it, above the melting point, fusion temperature. So our freezing temperature, if you heat it, it is fusion temperature. When you melt it, it will from liquid to solid. If you solidify, so it is freezing temperature. It becomes solid. So both are same temperature, slightly difference will be there, heating and cooling. The rate of heating and rate of cooling depends upon that. It will exactly start freezing, start becoming liquid at the melting temperature. Okay, this is fusion welding. So based on the type of heat, how you apply heat, based on that, it will be classified into different groups. If you use gas, okay, combustion of fuel gas and oxygen, it result in heat, so that is gas welding. If you use that gas flame to melt, it is called gas welding. If you use arc heat, electric arc, you know what is arc, electric arc, okay? So the electrical energy is converted into heat energy, so that heat is used to melt the material. So there are 11 processes in electric arc welding process where we use electric arc as the heat source, okay? These molten metals should be generally protected from atmospheric oxidation. Okay, in gas flame itself protected, and in other process, the molten metal has to be protected from atmospheric oxidation. From these gases like oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, these gases are harmful. So that react and forms products that will result in crack and other problem. So that should be protected from, especially oxygen and hydrogen. Okay, hydrogen embrittlement will come. So there are two types of shielding. One is flux shielding, the other is gas shielding. Okay, inert gases are used, argon, helium are used to shield it. Okay, flux will be, so granular flux or fused flux. Two types of flux. Flux is used to protect it, the molten pool from atmospheric oxidation. So then it is flux shielded process. The other one is gas shielded process. Okay, so that way it is classified. So even in the arc welding process, how you are going to protect molten pool. So flux, if you use like a shielded metal arc welding, where we have a coating in the electrode wire. Okay, so the rod electrode will be coated with the flux. So that is called shielded metal arc welding or coated electrode welding or manual metal arc welding. It is commonly 99% is done manually. That's why it is called manual metal arc welding. So there are other processes like submerged arc welding. The same flux is used, but only in the horizontal position, welding position horizontal, because when they weld it in a vertical or overhead, the flux will fall down. So that's why the same, instead of stick electrode, they want to weld continuously. They developed a wire electrode. Arc is created between the wire electrode and the job that is used to melt the material. So that is then covered with a flux, a blanket of flux. That is called submerged arc welding. Okay, you want to have a continuous automatic welding. They developed this instead of electrode wire. They electrode rod. They developed electrode wire and the process same flux. It is submerged arc welding. But you cannot go in other position. So then they develop during World War I and II. The requirement is very high. They try to develop a gas shielded process. So TIG welding, MIG welding, all those things. So that based on the heat source, arc welding, based on the other heat source. Okay, suppose radiant energy heat source, laser beam, electron beam welding, right? You see this. That's why this way, based on the heat source, it is thermic mixer, a reaction, chemical reaction used to produce heat and used to melt the material and join them. So thermic welding. So like that. Then there are resistance welding. When you pass a current in a wire or a conductor, magnetic field will be produced, and the resistance offered by the wire, okay, to the flow of current, you result in heating of the wire. So that result, that is resistance heating or Joule's heating. So use that heating to melt the plates and press by application of pressure, you can join it. At localized spot, it is called spot welding. Entire seam, it is resistance seam welding, etc. So this way, the resistance welding, there are a number of processes are there in resistance welding. Okay, this is about the fusion welding process. So you can see in the slide, these materials can be joined by application of pressure or temperature, by the temperature or heat here. So another process is called pressure welding, where we apply only pressure. Only pressure, or sometimes to reduce the pressure, we heat the material and apply pressure. So how it is joined, two material, keep one over the other, that is lap joint. Keep one over the other and apply pressure. By the pressure alone, you can join. How it is possible? What is the mechanism in it? So when you apply pressure, okay, we are trying to reduce the inter-atomic distances between atoms at the surfaces of the two plates to be joined. So it requires very high pressure. You know, atomic distance in angstrom units. So you have to reduce the distance between atoms. So there will be atomic attraction and it will be joined. So that is the basic principle of pressure welding. So even for thin plates, it requires very high force. You have to reduce for the width and depth of the plates, whatever you want to join. So thickness of the plate as well as width of the plate. So it requires high force. You can reduce the force required by heating it. What will happen when you heat the material? You know very well, the atomic distance will decrease between the atoms when you heat it, because it will start vibrating. Otherwise, we know very well the atoms will occupy a fixed position. We have lattice parameters. We have various types of crystal structures, FCC, BCC, 14 Gravis lattices are there. So based on that, so when you apply heat, it will vibrate and automatically the distance will decrease. So when you just application of less pressure, you can join it. What is an example? If you see, even in villages, bullock cart, you know, there is a wheel, wooden wheel. Around that, there is a strip is used to protect the wheel for worn out. Okay, the steel strip or iron strip will be used. So the ends of the strip, they take a longer strip and they put it as a circle. Okay, and at the edges they overlap. They put it in a coke-fired furnace manually and ready to heat it to red hot condition. Okay, that red hot condition, just to hammer it. So it is joined. Still that technique is used. That is called forge welding. If you join at room temperature, it is cold welding. Okay, this way there are different processes. Latest process in this, we have friction stir welding. We have robotic friction stir welding. If possible, I will take it tomorrow. Okay, so various processes you can have. So welding, and during joining, we may use pillar metal. We may not use pillar metal. Okay, if you don't use pillar metal, it is called autogenous welding. Okay, the electrodes also, there are two types of electrodes. One is consumable electrode and non-consumable electrode. Consumable electrode means it will melt and it will be deposited. Okay, non-consumable electrode, it will not melt, it is used only for creating R. So like tungsten electrode and carbon electrode. Okay, carbon arc welding, tungsten arc, gas tungsten arc welding or TIG welding. There, and plasma arc welding, we use tungsten electrode. This is called non-consumable electrode. There we have to use pillar rod. Additionally, separately, it will be fed manually or it may be fed mechanically by wire feeder or rod feeder. You can have it. Okay, this way, these are the processes. Okay, so these processes, just I have classified fusion welding, or another name for pressure welding is solid state welding, because we are not melting the material. We are just heating slightly above higher temperature so that reduce the pressure, apply load so that you can join. Okay, that way they are called solid state welding process. Cold pressure welding, if you join at room temperature, and friction welding, friction stir welding, all those things, latest process, friction stir welding. Okay, robotic welding we can see. So in this we are going to see only the process suitable for robotic welding applications. Okay, so in consumable electrode, I told two process in arc welding, electrical energy when we use consumable electrode process, gas metal arc welding, okay, sealed metal arc welding, submerged arc, all those things. Then non-consumable gas tungsten arc welding, atomic plasma arc welding, and we have carbon arc welding, okay, all those things, plasma arc welding. So these process, other process are additional process, okay, they are called allied process. So soldering, bracing, then we have surfacing, spraying, cutting, thermal cutting. Those comes under various other allied process. It is not clearly shown here. Only soldering and bracing is shown. Okay, they are similar to joining process, because you have seen a 3-axis robo. 3-axis robo is mainly, we can use it for soldering and bracing. Okay, that's why these robots, all axis, all degrees of freedom, 6-axis, mostly we use articulated 6-axis robo for welding. Please note. Okay, so this way, these are all additional process, cladding, surfacing, all those things like hard facing are allied process. So bracing, soldering, we use filler metal. Okay, melt the filler metal, and we use that for joining two plates without melting the base materials. Filler metal is melted and it is applied, so it will be sucked in the gap by capillary action. That is called soldering or bracing. When the filler metal temperature is less than 450, it is called soldering. More than 450, it is called bracing. You might have seen bracing many places. Tipped tools are braced to the tool steel sand. Okay, and bracing, copper and aluminum are joined, copper and steel, oil coolers, various places. Bracing is aerospace application, lot of bracing you can see, and things. Soldering is only for joint, just electrical contact. So all meters in Prikal, Coimbatore, you can see they have a lot of soldering, and the electronics industry is soldering, ultrasonic soldering, okay, laser beam soldering, various techniques are used just to apply heat. Based on the heat, soldering is different, classified to different groups, okay, various things. Okay, so this way about this, just to give you an idea about this process, conventional fusion welding process. Okay, this is very commonly TIG welding process, because when you want to do robotic welding without knowing what type of welding it can be used, so it is keeping a robo, buying a robo, and not knowing how to use the robo for welding, because welding process you should have good idea and knowledge about welding is essential. Otherwise, you cannot produce a good weld using a robo. Okay, that's why basic processes about welding process are essential, and which are suitable for welding, I will just explain. Okay, so tungsten inert gas welding in general, if you know, is a very good quality. It's an arc welding process, very good quality you can get. Okay, but it is not suitable for thick plates. Okay, medium and thick plates. More than 9 mm, it is not at all economical. It is the slowest process if you do without just in arc welding manually if you do it. Okay, by robotic and other application, they have increased the speed. Latest they have developed, Fronius have developed a heating the tungsten rod or the filler metal. So by that you can increase the speed. There are various techniques. They are cooling the electrode, especially tungsten electrode will be cooled if you apply high heat, okay, high amperage. So they have developed. So these are all latest process being used in robotic welding. So good quality you'll get, but initially slow speed in ordinary arc welding process. Okay, slowest process among the arc welding process, but very good quality you get after even welding. Even in Coimbatore, you can see a lot of pump industries, motor industries, there's outer cover, various parts they welded. So if you buff it, you can't see where welding has been done, or unless you etch it. If you etch it, you can see the heat affected zone, all those things. So you can see the weld. Okay, that's why it's very good quality. Even if it is not recommended for thick plates, even for thick 100 mm, they do root pass by TIG welding to have a good quality. Any cracks in the root pass will propagate and result in fracture. That's why they do select root pass by TIG welding. Okay, they want to do it manually. So this process, so tungsten electrode, that's all. So manual metal arc welding is only manual. It is another name is sealed metal arc welding. Please note the difference. The same various names, coated electrode welding, stick electrode welding, all the names are manual metal arc welding. It is started in 1880. Okay, so 1905 it was patented. So very good process. Once they invented the arc, okay, electric arc, then they tried to use it and weld it. Okay, they developed without coating initially, without then coating, it was successful, and this is protected from atmospheric oxidation. The molten pool is protected. So like that, it is being used, versatile, very cheap. Okay, almost all materials you can weld except highly reactive materials like titanium and other things. Okay, but even if you automate this process, you have to restart the arc. The electrode will be consumed, and no meaning of, you cannot do continuous welding. Okay, automation means continuous welding without any break. You can weld continuously. If shipbuilding, another thing, manual SMAW process, submerged arc welding and gas metal arc welding, TIG welding, you can weld continuously. Okay, that's why it is not useful for automation. But you can, if you want, it is developed in our own center, you can do automated welding of manual metal arc welding, but only a limited length of weld you can do it. Submerged arc, I already explained. Arc is submerged under the blanket of flux. That's why it is called submerged arc welding. Thick plates, medium and thick, more than 3 mm thickness. Less than that you can't go, because the power source, current used is 5000 amps power source. Okay, wire diameters are different. I will just deal it later. So mostly in especially in BHEL, Trichy. So in building number 1, where they produce cells, boiler cells, even 200 mm thick plates. So they use submerged arc welding for joining. So not only 1, 2 or 3 heads will continuously do welding. Okay, so thick plates are joined by submerged arc welding. And metal inert gas welding, so is a gas shielded process. So SMAW and submerged arc are flux shielded process. Okay, this will be gas shielded process. Thick welding will be a gas shielded process because they use inert gas, okay, for protecting the molten pool. So metal inert gas, GMAW, another name is GMAW, gas metal arc welding, and metal inert gas welding. I will be just dealing with in detail tomorrow. This process very important. So most of the robotic welding we use MIG welding process. Okay, so a lot of advancements have taken place here. Okay, CMT, rapid welding, twin arc, so many process developments, okay, has been taken place. I'll just touch upon basic first you should understand, then we can go for other process. Okay, MIG welding tomorrow I'll just touch upon. Resistance spot welding, mostly this MIG welding and resistance spot welding especially used in automotive industry. So some 20 years back itself, in USA, so this GMAW has replaced most of the SMAW process because it has higher speed and higher deposition rate, and you can complete it easily automated. Okay, so this also resistance spot welding also, so mostly in automotive industries, and thin sheets, wherever fabrication of components by using sheets, thin sheets, okay, 3 mm thickness, even up to sometimes 6 mm thickness. So this will be okay. You can weld it, okay, higher thickness also. So mostly automotive industries, thin sheets. Okay, so electrode here, 2 electrode, copper electrodes, current will be passed through that. So at the interface, resistance will be high. So I squared R heating will be high at the center. So it will melt, and by the application of pressure, okay, it will be joined. So this is resistance spot welding at a particular location. So this resistance spot welding, okay, by seam welding, it will be continuously the overlap of these parts. Instead of rod electrode, wheel electrode will be used, and it will be passed through the wheel. Okay, so that you get these nuggets continuously overlapping. That is called stitch welding. Okay, these things we will see tomorrow. Okay, plasma arc welding is a advanced version of TIG welding. So plasma is ionized flow of gas. You know the temperature in this. Okay, in arc welding, in gas welding, we have the flame temperature is 3200 in neutral flame. Hottest flame is oxidizing flame 3400. In arc welding, we get the center of the arc very high temperature. From the center, it is a bell shape. Arc will be bell shape. From the center to its other distance increases. From the center, the temperature decreases. Okay, at the center, you can have 6000 to 7000 degrees centigrade in ordinary arc welding. Okay, but in plasma, so the practically we use 17,000 to 18,000 degrees centigrade. So here the idea is when you pass another gas called plasma gas or center gas or orifice gas, which is coming through the orifice, which is passed through the center, that's why it is called center gas. So when it comes out as a plasma, very high heat is produced. The energy level goes up to 10 power 7, 10 power 8 watt per meter square. Okay, 10 power 8, it goes up to that. So that's why metal become vapors, and there is a digging, and the mode of welding changes from conduction to keyhole molding, deep penetration mode. Okay, please note that. Okay, this way it is plasma, very high temperature, very fast you can weld, but the process is, the equipment is very costly. Even in 1998, when I called for a quotation, it is 15 lakhs at that time. Okay, so very costly because energy level. So that's why it is not being used in India that much, but we are using it for stellating. Various other ADCO industries, various valve industries, they use this process for depositing. So that is wire arc additive, and similar to we are depositing and increasing the properties of the surface. Cobalt based alloys or Kalmalloy or Inconel, various alloys we are depositing to increase it. So this is process is used for robotic welding because very high speed, very high energy level can easily weld. You can easily control the energy level here. You can, as I just read it, is you can control energy level so that you can ignite a cigarette and you can join 10 mm thick plate without filler, single pass. That level it is, you can join it. Okay, that way it is. So this laser beam and electron beam welding, so here high energy beam welding, energy level is 10 power 10 watt per meter square. 10 power 10 watt. Here you can go up to 10 power 12 energy, electron beam welding. So you can weld with multi-pass weld is not required. Single pass, you can weld 50 mm thick plate in a single pass without filler. Please note. Why do we use filler? Because thick plates, arc welding, you cannot weld in a just square butt joint. Okay, just without groove. So you have to bevel the edges. Then when you bevel the edges, that is edge preparation. We groove, you groove, different grooves you will be making it, and you will be filling it, the groove, by welding, by depositing, melting the material, depositing, joining two pieces. Okay, that is groove weld. So that weld, so you have to deposit. So filler metal here not required, just the square edges are no beveling, just with butt against each other and join, because no gaps should be there. Okay, the beam diameter laser beam is 0.1 to 2 mm. We used laser beam welding available in WRI, Welding Research Institute, for joining a stainless steel plate 304 of thickness 3.5 mm. We used 4 kilowatt laser. Okay, so the beam diameter we use is 0.6 to 0.8 mm diameter. So you see, think of exactly, we will melt the edges and you can join. Sometimes we cannot see any heat affected zone in this. Okay, so very so less heat distortion, less residual stress, and lot of advantages, but only the drawback, the cost is very high. Approximately 1 kilowatt laser, 1 crore. Think of that. So the 4 kilowatt laser you can weld up to 6 mm or 7 mm. Okay, so 25 kilowatt laser, COT laser, I have seen in Luleå University, Sweden, north side of Sweden. So when I visited in 2007, okay, yeah, there you can weld up to 32 mm, 25 kilowatt laser. Okay, practically the number of power wattage is increased. You can weld more thickness in a single pass. Okay, please note. Electron beam welding has higher energy. You can do much faster, and so this is generally done in vacuum, because when the electron beam passes through the air become ionized. Then air ion particles, positive ion and negative ion. Positive ions will be attracted towards the negatively charged electron, and that will be colliding, and it will be reducing the speed of the electron, and it will scatter the electron. So when it focuses on the job, so you cannot get that quality, and you cannot get that speed and depth of penetration. That's why it is done in vacuum. Please note that that's why it is done in mostly vacuum. There are 3 types of vacuum based on the economical point of view, all those things. Okay, so these are very important process. So latest process, especially for robotic welding, so friction stir welding is used. It's a solid state process, 2 pieces to be joined. If possible, tomorrow I will explain in detail with the in video also. So 2 pieces, just a rotating non-consumable tool is used. Okay, so when it is rotated and plunged inside, so there will be a pressure. Okay, load also given. So there will be a pin will be this way. Pin is there. Okay, this is the solder, and pin will be there. Pin will be plunged in gap between the 2 plates to be joined. So generally no gap will be there initially. So you have to plunge it. It will be rotated and plunged inside. So due to the friction between this pin and the job, and the solder and the job, heat will be produced. Okay, that heat. So temperature is not going to be raised up to melting temperature, lower than that. In case of aluminum, we have seen 400, 450 degrees. Aluminum melts at 660. In steel, we have seen up to 900 degrees, even 1000 degrees. Okay, stainless steel and steels we have seen. So it won't be melting temperature. So due to the frictional heat, the metal will be plasticized, and it is rotated. No, it will be plasticized, and it will be moved. When it is plastically moved around it, when you move the job, it will be from rotating side, okay, advancing side, this is retreating side. Metal will be moved, and it will be when it moves the rear side, metal will be forged, and it will be solid. It will be joined together. Okay, that's why it's just a pressure, and there is a heat will be produced because of the frictional heat. It's a modified version of friction welding. This is a modified version of friction welding. 1991, it was invented by the Welding Institute, UK. Right. So this about the basic process. These are different types of joints you should know. Okay, these are different types of welds. Okay, what is plug weld, fillet weld. Okay, so butt joint. Okay, this is called square butt without anything. Okay, so if you have a V groove and other things, so groove joint. Okay, there are different types. These are all slot joint or weld. Okay, so these are the positional welding. So this is flat position. Horizontal plane, you weld it. Okay, any direction, it is flat position. So horizontal position means in a vertical plane, you weld it like this. This horizontal plane, horizontal position. In a vertical plane, okay, you weld it from top to bottom like this, and bottom to top. So this progression down, progression up, vertical up here, vertical down here. So these are, you should know, this overhead position. Above your head, there is a horizontal plane. You weld any direction, it is overhead position, because this is very severe. Welding is very high skill is required. If you do it manually, just a minute, please. Okay. Okay. There is disturbance. Sorry, just a minute, please. You disturb please. Okay. So these are the questions. Please, you should remember, right? Okay. So power. Okay. I'm sorry. And to do it in this fashion, right? Just a minute, please. Let her come a bit of house, they are doing some work, require work. All right. Okay. So please note that these are the positional welding, right? So this is pipe welding, 1G, 2G and 5G and 6G positions. So here the welding head will be stationary, pipe will be rotated. So here also, here 2G, okay, 5G. So the manually you have to rotate. The welder head should be rotated, and 6G it is at an angle. Okay, right. So welding, we will see next. These are the process and positions we have seen. What is welding automation, right? So please, we have seen what is different types of welding processes, right? So in manufacturing, really, we know very well automation means doing all functions or some functions mechanically, right? Here we have to see this welding process consists of various steps, 8 steps. So these steps are how we are going to mechanize those processes, those steps. Then we can say different types of automation. So main purpose of automation, morning class, first morning also you have seen that, okay, mainly to reduce the cost and increase productivity, okay, improve quality. You can have a lower space requirement and reduce the cost. I know it's not robotic welding automation. Okay, so mainly automation means we have to increase this process. Many process very difficult to welder continuously, so there will be fatigue and other problems, and we may not continue have a consistent thing. So you can do to do work. So that is welding automation. Okay, so when you see the welding sequence, so there are 8 steps are there just to for any welding. So these are classified into 8 steps. First step, so parts to be welded. Okay, can be used, jigs and fixers can be used. Okay, or it can be just assembled and manually it can be welded. So tag welding below you have tag welded that way. Okay, so that is the, okay, so it will arc has to be struck. Arc has to be struck. So it will be arc will be struck. Okay, so between I mean arc has to be initiated so that the fusion welding will be taking place. Okay, then once arc is started, so if it is place, it is maintained at the same place, there will be so that you have to weld the entire. So you have to create the movement, okay, between the welding head, relative movement between the welding head and the job. Okay, then the welder, suppose he is manually between the end of the arc and end of the switches, like voltage, current, okay, wire feed rate, etc. So this will be has to be controlled during welding. Okay, so that you get the required penetration, all those things. Okay, so you can see in this picture the first step I have just shown by hand written. Okay, so tag welded. First step, assemble the parts and tag welded. Second step, so it is brought under the head, welding head. Here I have shown just stick electrode. So you can bring the stick electrode here. Okay, second step. So third step, you can see start the R, initiate the R. That is the third step. Okay, then fourth step, you have to provide relative movement. You have to start moving it. So that is the fourth step. Okay, and fifth step, so you have to control the variables. Okay, control the variables. I'm sorry. This is the fifth step, control the variables. So arc length, all those things has to be controlled. Then sixth step, just reach the end of it, stop welding. Okay, that is the sixth step. Okay, you can switch off the power source, or you can just raise the stick electrode, it will be off. Okay, seventh step, either you can shift the welding head to the original position, or okay, so that the welding cycle has to restart. You can move it to that. Okay, you can start. That is the seventh position. Eighth position, you can remove the plate, or you can change alternately. You change the plate after welding and move the head to the initial position. These are the 8 steps, especially for robotic welding. Okay, right? So based on these steps, okay, the automation, if you want to automate, okay, so what are the processes are automated, the steps are automated accordingly. This will be classified into various levels of automation. Okay, types of automation. Manual welding, all 8 steps are done manually, so that is manual welding. Semi-automatic welding, okay, especially the okay, first manual welding, all steps. Sometimes in the manual welding there will be relative movement provided, sometimes mechanically, okay, by some assistant, mechanical assistance it can be done. Okay, that you can see here, there is a gravity motor. Okay, you can see in this figure. So the welder will be having this weight. When you leave it, then it will be coming down, then it will be rotated gradually. So welder will just keep the electrode here arc, and we will be continuously feeding it. The rotation will be by this. So this is also permitted, but it is manually. So you will be dropping it by weight. So this is called manual welding. Okay, and semi-automatic. In this, the 5th step, especially the control of welding variables, arc length control, okay, current, voltage, everything control. This will be controlled in a power source by a, okay, setting it. You can set it. Once it is set, it will be automatically, the arc length will be, there will be provision so that you can maintain the constant arc length. Okay, like that, voltage, everything will be controlled. Sometimes the stage 4, relative movement will be also mechanically here done. So when it is done like that, then it is called semi-automatic welding. Most of the time you can use it for the stage 4. Okay, semi-automatic. Even some other arc also sometimes available in semi-automatic are more. So the various operations, stage 3 and 6, that is initiation and stopping, can be, okay, carried out in a sequence automatically with the help of a single on-off switch. Okay, in semi-automatic, that is also possible. So mostly these geometric GMAW wave wire, then it is called flux core arc welding process. Okay, so these techniques it is used. So semi-automatic process, automatic welding. Okay, here stages 5th and 4th operation fully automatic. Okay, and a single switch to control for power, consumables, all those things, and there is a crater filling. So at the end of the weld, generally if you see, there will be a small depression, because when the welder want to stop it, you will be just pulling the electrode. So he may not feed the molten electrode at that location where we want to stop the electrode, stop the arc. Okay, so where at that place location, because he is pulling the electrode, increasing the arc length, so that arc will be quenched off. Okay, so at that time he may not feed the metal. So that's why there will be a depression, and in that depression there will be crater crack sometimes, because the thickness will be very less when you compare with the other side, all other remaining portion of the weld. So due to the metal is not added. So in automatic system, there is a provision for filling that crater. What does it mean? So when the machine moves, suppose you want to switch off, when you switch it off, the relative movement, the machine will stop, arc will not stop. Arc will stop after some seconds you set. That is called crater filling arrangement. All these will be in the automatic welding. Please note. Okay, most of the other process 1, 2, 7, and 8 are by hand. Okay, that is initial loading, unloading. Okay, so bringing it to the required position, that will be by hand. Okay, that is automatic process. Then we have, these are some of the examples of automatic process. Okay, automatic welding process, right? So you can see the arc is starting. Okay, all the power source, everything will be controlled. So only the 1, 2, okay, 6 and 7 will be manual. Other things will be the process control. Everything will be done. Okay, and this also similar to here. TIG welding is used. You can see the torch, peculiar torch itself. This is the wire feeder, separately wire feeder. Okay, it will be controlled automatically. All the process switch on and off. Okay, will be there. Okay, all control, loading and unloading manually. Okay, that process is automatic process. Okay, so okay, this automatic process, mostly gravity welding also they can use it, use of the gravity. Okay, just if you say what is gravity welding, so here this way, so there is a sliding slanting rod. In that, even GMA SMAW electrode, stick electrode is fixed. So when it is dropped from here, you can easily weld from here to here. So the length will decrease automatically. You have to set the slant angle properly based on the melting rate of the electrode. Please note. So these are initially they developed for automatic welding. So now it is very cheap, low cost. Okay, so automatic welding. And firecracker welding also, this is similar to firecracker welding. So that is still being used. Okay, there are a lot of advantages in automatic welding. Okay, and these are only problem, you have to do it in a mass, so that number of products, number of parts will be welded will be more. Then it will be very useful, but it requires capital investment. Okay, and you can have a good quality weld continuously, consistency, all those things are main advantages. Then what is automated welding? All 8 stages are performed from the assembly, okay, from to transfer of the parts, completely carried out by machineries. Okay, so that is called automated welding. Okay, so this will be carried out. Okay, you can most of the process, very few processes are there like this. So that way it is. Please, you can see this automation completely process. You can see some of the process automated welding. So including loading, unloading. Okay, all the things are possible. So setup. So I have a lot of videos also there, but I'm just not the videos, right? Okay, so it is required now, right? Okay, so this automated welding mainly increase productivity, improve quality, reduce operator fatigue. Okay, so this mainly used completely. So you know very well, only a supervisor just watch the things how it is going on. Very rare, no intervention of manual welder. Okay, mostly it is, so such system is costly, you know very well, but flexible, all advantages you can have. So what is the difference between this automatic welding and automated welding? You know very well. So all the process here. So 1, 2, 7, 8 will be done in manually in automatic welding, automated completely this. And in automatic welding, jigs and fixers will be used. So there are a lot of investment that changes with respect to the various components, depends upon the components. So that is a difference in automatic welding and automatic welding. Sometimes people in some other thing they refer. So this automatic as mechanized welding, and automated welding as simply they say automatic welding. Please note the terminologies they use. So these terminologies, so very commonly used, this automatic and automated welding. Okay, so automated welding eliminates all elaborate expensive fixes. Okay, and time and limit switches to stop the machine. It will sense the limit switch and it will be stopped in automatic welding. But here completely programming, so everything, each and everything will be taken care by this automated welding process. Okay, sensors and lot of other things are there. So correspondingly, but good quality production, flexibility, all advantages are there in automated welding. Okay, So use of robot and moving work holding device ABGs can be programmed to supply and remove the parts, welded parts, etc. Okay. So this is just an example, industrial MIG welding robot setup. Okay. So these are the positioner, right? So will be is the arc will be exactly moved to the based on the program in the controller. First session you have seen what is the function of a controller. So we have a welding controller. Welding controller is power source. So different types of power sources. So olden days we have conventional power sources, rectifier and transformer, inverter, all those things. So latest controller, digital control it should have, so that you can easily interface with the robot controller. Through robot controller you can control this, you can set welding current, voltage, all those things. Speed will be set in the controller because we are moving the robot. So all those things please you have to note here. So completely you can do all rotation, everything here. So universal microprocessor based welding system. So a simple microprocessor can control all aspects, okay, through a proper interface, sensor, everything. Just skipping it, okay. So there is adaptive control, like in adaptive control in CNC machines. Here also, so how to move the head automatically along the especially seam, center part, joint part, that is seam, you can say. So at the along the center, there are various techniques used, okay. That is called seam tracking. When you follow the center joint path, okay, so it will be, that is called seam tracking. So various methods are used. Why it is important? When the head moves slightly away from the center, then there won't be proper fusion. Lack of one plate will melt, the other plate will not melt fully, and you won't get full penetration. That's why the seam tracking. Manually, if you do, you will be just moving along the center. So mechanically you have to move, okay. Mechanically you move, okay. So in that case it is essential. So the head has to move along the center. So there are different methods are available. Mechanical, okay, or laser, optical laser also with a laser sensor. It is there, okay. So this will be used for a wheel, okay. So wheel like a roller, okay, like a wedge moving center, the head will follow that. That's why you see this is the wheel. Here the welding head will be melting and fusing using the plates, okay. This is a simple technique. You have other, see, even in the curvature also you can do it. Seam will be along circular or anything profile, so it can be moved like this, sensing, and it will be moving it. These are the various techniques. Optical type. So optical sensor will sense this is the seam, that is center of a joint path, and it will sense and give the corresponding signal. The computer will move the gun this way, that way, accordingly. Okay. Vision systems also used here. This is optical system. Okay. You can have a laser system or electromechanical devices. Lot of systems for especially welding automation. When you do it automated condition or mechanized condition, okay, it has to be moved through the center of the path. Okay. So a lot of methods. Sophisticated type, it may to oscillate the arc also, it is the oscillation of the arc to increase the width of the welding. You can do it this way. Okay. Manually it is done generally for bridging the gap. Some places gap will be more, some places gap will be less. Two plates will be joined. The welder will sense where to move, where to deposit more material. But it has to be sensed by during automation. It has to be sensed by the proper sensor, and it has to be communicated, and the head has to oscillate or move accordingly. Okay. So laser beam also is used for tracking the joint path. Okay, but it's costly based on that. So remote welding also, it is automation. It's done welding automation. Okay, like nuclear reactors. If you see, so nuclear reactor we can't go inside. So there is so all operations you can program, and it can go. There will be a robot, and it will be going inside, and it will be welding it. Okay. So no monitoring adjustment during operation, no human factor. maintenance of operation, especially it will be done in nuclear reactors. So various other places, suppose welding in the space, okay. So some components, so which is very difficult, you can't go there. So such conditions, this remote welding is used, okay. So various heat exchangers tubes, especially leaking heat exchanger tubes, will be plugged by GTAW process, okay, nuclear power plants. That is, okay. Sealing of fuel elements and target rods in nuclear industry, very commonly used. Okay, radiochemical processing plants, high corrosive solutions are handled. So those conditions we require is remote welding process. Okay, this will be operated remotely, and it will go and plug. Leaking things. Okay, all those things are possible, right? I'm just going for. So robotic welding. Okay, a part of automated welding. So here, what is the function of this mainly? So it provides the relative movement, okay, and it provides the gap also between the electrode and the jaw. We can program carefully. So that way, this is mainly repetitive job, all those things. So all it actions of man, okay, monotonous and fatigue task will be carried out by robotic welding, cost effective solutions to many arc welding tasks, okay. So whatever the program, you can have a flexibility, whatever way the job, just we can call the program, edit it if you want, then you can run it and you can weld it. Mostly 5-axis or 6-axis articulated robots are generally, these are used in this robotic welding. Okay, range of task, suitable for range of task, and program stored in controller. So memory, okay, at any time you can do offline programming and we can load it to the controller, robotic controller, then we can perform it. So various ways are there. Okay, it's a big welding robotic system. So I have a one system. Okay, this just I show you. That is latest process, wire arc additive manufacturing. If you see that, okay, okay, how this is, especially robotic welding. Instead of welding,
This
here
is
we
a
go for.
Dahmen Stantug 1606 workboat. Many have come before it, and this will certainly not be the last. Still, this one is special, not because of what you see above the water, but because of what happens below the water. This vessel is propelled by the Wampeller, the first class-approved 3D printed propeller. This project took 7 months to complete and brought together key players from different industries, all with the same goal, to manufacture and certify the world's first wire arc additive manufactured propeller. The starting point of the project was a propeller designed by ProMarin. Before it could be sent to the 3D printer, the design first had to be transformed into a so-called CAM strategy, a detailed plan of how the printing of the complex double-curved geometry of the propeller blades should be carried out. This strategy was thought out by Autodesk with the use of their PowerMill software application. Meanwhile, specialists at RamLab in Rotterdam started on tests to ensure the Wampeller would be strong enough for the job. Through different material tests and prototypes, the building strategy was finalized. In September of 2017, everything was set to start the production. By printing a total of 2.6 kilometers of nickel aluminium bronze in 298 layers, RamLab created the Wampeller in one go over just a few days, printing around the clock. With advanced 3D scanning methods, the propeller was checked and finished by ProMarin and deemed ready for testing. For the last stage of the project, the Wampeller was brought to Dahmen shipyards in Gorkum, where it was installed on the Stantug 1606.
Okay, so here is an latest process called wire arc additive manufacturing. Robotic welding is used for especially MIG welding process. Okay, you can deposit different materials also. Okay, so functionally graded materials you can deposit. So that way, this is robotic welding. Okay, setups are there. Okay, and just compare with that. Okay, so all things, so types of building robot very commonly used. The processes, especially based on the processes, we classify like this, not based on the architecture of robot. Okay, so especially spot welding robot, it is commonly used in automotive industry. Big welding robot, TIG welding. Okay, so with the laser, what is the process we use correspondingly? It is we call it as, okay, that systems. Okay, and mainly it is on work hazardous, dirty, tiring job, all these conditions. So we use this mainly aim to increase productivity, consistency, and minimum wastage of materials, stabilized labor charges. So tomorrow I will cover those wire arc additive manufacturing a little bit. Okay, so these are all completely robotic welding setup. Okay, so you can control it. You can see this robotic welding, various places, car bodies and various fabrication processes. I have seen in BML, I have seen in Bell various things. BML in Karnataka. Okay, in gold mines near that. Okay, this KB industry in various places it is being used in India. Okay, so these welding processes, okay, especially for welding automation, we have to move the arc, or we have to provide relative movement between the arc and the work, especially. So how you have to provide? What are the facilities available? Okay, just I'm touching that. Okay, so because you should have what are the devices available, how they are classified for especially welding automation. Welding automation. Robo we use it. Okay, that is condition. But what are the other techniques available for providing relative motion? That is to automate the welding process. Okay, various things, especially the step 4, you have to provide relative movement. Okay, so how to provide relative movement between arc and the work? So either you can move arc or you can move work. Okay, so that way, so automatic arc welding requires motion, relative movement between the welding arc and the torch. Okay, and the part being welded. Combination of these two also are directly available. Many systems are available. Many industries they manufacture this, and they have a lot of catalogs. You can see so what is corresponding specifications. It is available. It is available. So you can see that. So those systems are used for welding automation, especially welding automation. We are looking at mainly on welding automation. Okay. So these devices, you can see a simple motion. Okay, you want to weld here. These are the motion. This okay, this can be, the job can be rotated or it can be swiveled. Okay, here here if you fix the torch can be moved X direction, Y direction, and Z direction. Yes, X will be this. Okay, so Y is longitudinal and X is transverse, and vertical Z direction will be vertical. Please note the general terminology they use it. Okay, this way. So generally these arc and work motion devices, they move the arc or torch and the welding head along the joint. Welding head will have this arc and torch. Okay, it will be moved along the joint, and the welding operator only performs a supervisory role. He may not do anything. Okay, in welding automation. Okay, adjusting torch to guide the arc or changing the one or more welding parameters to overcome deviation in the welding. Okay, operator, okay, they will be just removed from the vicinity. More current and high welding speed can be used than in manual welding when you provide such a relative motion. Fatigue of the operator will be reduced. This way you can eliminate this fatigue and increase productivity. Okay, what are the arc motion devices? There are various types of arc motion devices. So it is used for GMA, Luxport arc welding, or submerged arc welding, or also for GTAW and PA plasma arc welding techniques. Okay, so there are 5 types it is available. Tractor for flat position. Tractor will have wheels, so that will move on the rails. Okay, tractor for mostly for flat position. You know, welding in a horizontal position is flat position. That's why you should know about the positional welding. Okay, carriages for all position. Okay, it will be moving X, Y, Z, vertical up also. So there are carriages. Side beams, it will be along the sides. So it will be moving along the beam and welding. Okay, manipulators. So you can have X, Y, Z manipulators. I developed a computer control welding manipulator in 93 for my PhD. Okay, so you can have X and Y movement. When servo motors are used to control X and Y movement, torch will be stationary. This cable will be moving. X and Y movement. You can two axes, so you can have any shape like a circle or rectangle, square. All this you can make it. So because two axes, X and Y you can control. Okay, manipulators. So gantry type, you might have seen in the video, CYU video. Gantry X and Y movements will be gantry type movement. Okay, this is just an example. Manipulators. So it can be moved. The arc here, the welding head. Okay, here it is there. So it can be moved and weld. So this movement, vertical also you can have movement, X and Y movement. And this also there is a movement here. You can move this way. Okay, longitudinal, so transverse and vertical. So precision things are also there. Especially TIG welding, you have to maintain the arc length. So mainly it will be maintained up to 1 to 3 mm. That this the distance between the tungsten electrode and the job. In plasma, you can have a slightly higher distance, 6 mm you can go. But so it is very accurately, it should be maintained the distances. That's a precision welding, a precision manipulator used for GTA welding. Okay, so what are the work motion devices? There we moved arc. Here we move the job. Okay, combination also available. Okay, here we move the job. Job will be rotated and torch will be stationary. You are welding a circumferential seam in case of pipe welding. So universal or tilt top positioners. Okay, it can revolve, it can rotate. Okay, it can tilt. So all these positioners or universal positioners. Turning rolls. So mainly used for pipe welding. Pipe will be continuously rotated by the rolls. Head and tail stock. Huge component will be mounted between head and tail stock positioner, and it can be rotated. You can see in this video this type of one or two. Just have an idea about it. Okay, so this will be very useful. So automatic. So this positioner. For welding automation, think of this. See, the entire component will be rotated with the tail stock, tail and head and tail stock position. You can see the welding. Okay, robo also moving. Okay, this for positioning the job, this is used. Okay, even for robotic welding, this position is essential. Okay, this way. So this way it will be useful, right? Stop. Just to show you one day. Okay. So similarly, we have this machine also. Here you can see all vertical also. It goes vertically and linearly also. So the arc is okay. Here this position is various places it goes. Vertical as well as horizontal. Okay. So X, Y, Z movement. Okay. These are the positioners, different types of positioners. Okay. Here arc and motion devices. Arc also moving. Okay. Job also. Here job is stationary. Arc is moving. So that way you can have these types of things, right? Okay. I'll just go to the presentation mode. So a lot of standardized and various manufacturers manufacture these type of work and motion devices. Okay, so you can see there is a roll, universal tilt up positioner here. Okay, while is for positioning, right? Just to show you some picture. The rolls, these are the rolls here. You can see these are the rolls to rotate this entire pipe, to weld it. Fins are welded. Okay, and the seams are welded. Okay, this may be stud welding type. You can join those things. Okay, right. So now just we have seen what is welding automation, what are the different types of welding automation. Okay, so and processes, just we have touched upon it, various types of process, very commonly used for robotic welding. These are the processes. Okay, so just I will touch upon just do one process only, because its time is already 5 o'clock. So questions I will give 10 minutes I will give you for questions. Okay, I will just complete one process. Remaining I will continue tomorrow. Right? Okay. So main important process is TIG welding process. Already I explained. Okay, the TIG welding. So thin plates. Okay, good quality you can get. So additional filler you have to put it because non-consumable electrode is used. Okay, that is the process. So when you see the cross section, so the torch will be very light and easy to handle. Okay, there is a ceramic nozzle and you have a tungsten rod will be inserted into the collet. Okay, so arc will be created with the tungsten electrode on the job, and if you want to fill it, additional filler metal will be used. Okay, the advantage of this process, if you don't have any filler, you can take a strip of the base metal and you can use it as a filler. It manually you can feed or you can feed it automatically. That is the main advantage of this process. You need not have a separate filler. Okay, robotic TIG welding, and just there is a video, right? Okay, I will leave it now. Okay, right. So this TIG welding, autogenous welding, or simply welding. When we add a filler rod, it is just welding. We don't add filler rod, just melt and fuse thin plates. Up to even 3 mm, 2 mm, you can melt and fuse without filler. That is autogenous welding. Okay, so robotic TIG welding with filler, without filler I have shown. So here the tungsten rod, very carefully you have to select the tungsten rod. Okay, and the end of the tungsten rod you have to grind it. The angle, included angle is also very important for the end of the tip of the tungsten rod. You have to grind. Separate grinding machines are available because you cannot use ordinary tool and cutter grinder for grinding tungsten because it may take absorb carbon. Okay, from that, so that will result in tungsten inclusion or other defects in welding. Okay, so the pure tungsten difficult to start initiate the arc and to maintain the arc. So there are some additions. Okay, pure tungsten life also very less. Okay, so various alloying elements are added to tungsten rod. So this process we have to take each process 1 hour. I'm just giving you very briefly. Okay, very fastly I will just give you the basic process because unless you know the process, so you can't do it better welding with a robot. Okay, TIG process. Okay, it's a very good process, very efficient. You can have a good quality, right? So these are the different types, and it will be color code: orange, green, black, yellow. Okay, they're based on that. Thorium is added. So these alloying elements are added to quickly initiate the arc, maintain the arc. Okay, properties. Right? Thorium nowadays not recommended because of radiation. Okay, so the thorium and zirconium aid in initiating the arc. So these are pure tungsten, mainly used in aluminum welding. We see what is aluminum welding, what is the difficulty in aluminum welding. Generally, aluminum welding, aluminum, if it has a high affinity for oxygen, immediately it forms aluminum oxide on the top surface. That oxide surface, oxide formed on the surface, even if you remove it, immediately it will form. So what is the difficulty? This aluminum oxide adherent layer, so it will not melt quickly because its melting point is 2050 degrees. Aluminum melt at 660, pure aluminum. Alloy will melt, depends upon the alloy, 600, 700 or 7 like that. Okay, less than 800 based on the alloy. But this scale, that is oxide scale, oxide will not melt, then it will result in porosity. So you have to clean that by another technique that is called cathodic cleaning. So these are the various methods you can use. So this is the power source. Constant current power source is used for this TIG welding. Okay, when even the welder moves up and down, suppose manually. Here we use digital, okay, Proteus machines for robotic welding. Okay, this process now conventionally, if you see, they use different rectifier, they use inverter, okay, power source they use. Okay, so in that case, we have the control parameter. When the hand is moved up and down, okay, there will be the current will be constant. The power source will try to provide continuous, that is static characteristics called constant current characteristics that will not affect the weld. Even there is slight changes in the arc length. Okay, the distance between the end of the tungsten electrode and the job. Okay, these are the very important parameters: welding current, voltage, gas shielding, welding speed, filler metal, and arc length. It has to be controlled very carefully. Okay, so this angle, electrode angle also very important. You can see the effect here. when the angle is broad, okay, more than 60 here, so you get a deeper penetration. Okay, broader. Okay, thin means it will very quickly, this joint will go because of this, it will be affected very quickly. So generally they keep like this 60 degrees. Okay, this also. Each and every small aspect will influence the quality. So you should know that. Okay, electrode negative, electrode positive. Okay, generally non-consumer electrodes are kept electrode negative, non-consumer electrodes, because when in the arc column, in the arc, so when the electrode is positive, 2/3 heat is produced at that place, 1/3 heat is produced approximately at the positive negative polarity. 2/3 is produced at the positive polarity, and 1/3 is produced at the negative polarity. And so that way, if it is consumer electrode is used, so it should not be heated up unnecessarily. Then the tungsten will heat it up and it will melt, and the end will melt, and it will be deposits tungsten inclusion is a defect. Okay, to avoid, we have to water cool the tungsten electrode. So generally electrode negative is used for tungsten electrode. Okay, job will be positive based on this polarity. You can see when the job is negative, okay, electron will flow from negative to positive. When the electron flows, okay, it liberates the oxide, especially in aluminum welding. It liberates this oxide. Okay, it is not a single point like arc is created between the end of the electrode and the job. Okay, here it is end of it. Okay, here it is a flat surface. So that's why it is the cathode spot. It is called cathode spot. Okay, that spot is not single constant at a single point. It will move at random. That's why it will liberate during movement at random. It will liberate the layer. That is called cathodic cleaning. Okay, so during negative half cycle, if you use AC current, negative half cycle cleaning action will be there. In positive, okay, here heating and melting of the plate, here it is cleaning of the plate. That's why we use best process for welding aluminum is this process, AC TIG welding process. So you have to use AC power source even in robotic welding. Okay, mostly, so we can use this is the process. Okay, in AC welding the penetration also different. Okay, this is the ball formation. So when electrode is negative, they will be maintained. When electrode is positive, even if you grind it like this, it will become automatically ball type, because it is automatically trying to reduce the current density. Current divided by the area of cross section of the wire, that is current density. Automatically increase the wire cross section naturally, so reduce the, so it will not quickly melt and it will not be deposited. So overheating will be avoided by nature itself. In AC current, you get small because alternate cycles, positive, negative of cycles. You get a small this. So you can see here when the electrode is positive and this is electrode positive, job is negative, less penetration. Job is positive, more penetration. Job is here AC current is intermediate penetration. So you know the current level. So the rating, diameter of the electrode is 3.5. It can carry 400 amps. But the double times the diameter, it can carry only 120 amps. So this you have to know about these diameters. See, when current increases, penetration increases. Okay, so that is the effect of this. Similarly, welding speed increases. Initially, penetration will increase, then it will decrease. Okay, these are okay about arc length. It has to be very carefully controlled. Okay, 2 to 5 mm it is. Okay, arc length will be maintained. Okay, so arc length increases, voltage increases, and the arc stability will become will be reduced. So that way you have to control very carefully this arc length in to get a good proper beam. Shielding gas will also affect various shielding gases for this welding. Mostly argon is used. So no argon, oxygen will be. Sometimes we use oxygen for stainless steel, MIG welding and other things. But here oxygen will oxidize the tungsten electrode. Even CO2 also not used, so that oxygen will oxidize. So mostly this way it is possible. Okay, so I will just stop it for amount of time. So I will continue this in the tomorrow regarding other process, MIG welding. Okay, variants of MIG welding and other like laser beam these processes I will continue next class. I think I will stop today, right? Okay. So there are variant of this tick process also. I'll just touch upon later. Okay. So what are the advantages of this? Okay. Thank you for your excellent listening. I'm sorry there is a disturbance in between, right? So I'm very sorry for that. Okay. That is so now I will just ask clarify your doubts now.
What is